They put Pitocin in me and I just laid there. You know, I was just waiting for my baby to come out. I sat on the ball and I was like bouncing on it a couple of times, and I was calling Matt's name. He didn't listen because he was like knocked out. So I was like, forget it, I'm just gonna keep bouncing. And then this is like the highlight of my birth stories. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Liz. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I am a working mom now, and here on my channel I do a lot of motherhood lifestyle vlogs. So if you're into that, then I hope you guys stick around. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. In today's video, I want to talk or share my birth story with all of you guys. To me, I think it's the funniest story ever. I hope you guys enjoy my story and laugh with me throughout the video because I think it's pretty funny. Let's get right into the story. To begin, when I first found out that I was pregnant, obviously we were really happy. Being a first-time mom and you know, having to think about that and to think about like labor or whatnot, it scared the crap out of me. All the stories I've heard about labor, it like scared me. Like I was not trying to give birth. I wanted to be pregnant, but then I did not want to push the baby out just because there are just so many scenarios that was running through my mind, and you know, like you just fear it, you know. I did have a previous pregnancy before this, but then I did miscarry, and so my second pregnancy, I was pregnant in May 2016. I found out right after Memorial Day that I was pregnant. Obviously I didn't know I was pregnant. I was still drinking and having fun and all that stuff until, you know, I kind of felt very exhausted of everything, you know, like I just didn't, I had a feeling in me where it was very like tiring and I didn't want to do anything. I want to go home, sleep, and whatever. So I was wondering like why was I feeling like that? And I became very emotional about little things that I couldn't handle. Usually I don't get emotional really easily, but then for some reason I was just so emotional that day, or one of the days before I found out I was pregnant. I was just really emotional. One day I went to work and I just started crying. I had a feeling in me where I just didn't want to be at work anymore. I was done. I was just like, I need to go home. I'm not feeling good. I left my job to go back home, and then I called my husband and I was like, you know, I am very sad right now. I'm really emotional. I just didn't want to be at work. And I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but I just wanted to get away from everybody, be alone in my own island or on vacation by the beach. In my head, I was imagining myself at the beach, kind of just like sit in peace and silence. And so yeah, all that, and then I took a pregnancy test, and then bam, I found out that I was pregnant. So the first trimester I was okay, second trimester I was okay, like my symptoms weren't as bad anymore. Third trimester, you know, you get all these stories from other people about how they went to labor, the pain they felt, the contractions, the epidural, and it kind of just like scares you, you know. Like I was definitely scared because in my mind I was just like, holy freak, like how am I gonna push this baby out? Like I'm so scared to like see or know that I ripped down there, you know. So I just had like those stupid scenarios in my head. January 29th was the day I got admitted to the hospital. That day, it was a Sunday, I remember clearly, and I don't know if my husband was fishing or if he was at work. All I know was that I was at home searching up ways to naturally induce yourself at home. Now, I was like 39 weeks already, and I was just so over pregnancy. I just wanted my baby to come out. I really wanted to come out and just be done with it. I was dancing, I was doing jumping jacks. The night before though, the night before I was doing that, Sunday came around and I was trying to figure out how to naturally induce myself. So I was still on that road of trying to give birth early. I ran into like a natural inducing shake that you make with like, I don't know, I forgot, but it's like all these different kind of ingredients, and then you like mix it up and you turn it into a shake, and then when you drink it, like in a couple hours or so, you'll start feeling pain or like contractions, and then like you'll go into labor sometime that day. When I was sitting in my bed and I was like searching these things up, I was like, okay, I got everything I needed. I, you know, jot down a list of all the ingredients I needed, and then right as soon as Matt came home, I told him, I was like, hey, we gotta go to the store. I need to go get these ingredients because I'm gonna try to self-induce myself so that, you know, Leona can come early and I can be done with pregnancy or whatever. And he was like, what the hell? But he was totally okay with it. So he was just like, okay, get ready, you know, like, let's go. I was sitting on my bed, and then as soon as I got up from my bed, I felt something like drip. I was like, oh my god, I think I just like peed myself. And I told him, I was like, honey, 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 and like I peed myself, I don't know what to do. And then he was just like, what? I was like, that's so weird, because I would never pee myself, you know? Even when I'm laughing, I'm not those type of people to like pee myself. I had went to the bathroom to pee and it came out, but I was only like leaking. I didn't know if it was my pee or if it was like my water or whatever, but then there was liquid coming out of me. I put a pad on just in case, and as soon as I stood up from the toilet, I started leaking again. And I was just like, and that time I really couldn't hold it, you know? I don't know why, but I just couldn't hold it, and it was just like coming out. I was like, what the heck is going on? That time we were still living in Kansas. We were still living in a house with my sister-in-law and then Matt's brother and all his other brothers. I freaking like yelled, I don't know if I yelled out her name or I texted her, but then I was like, hey, you know, I'm leaking, is this normal? Because she was pregnant before me, so she already had her baby, she already been through it. And so I was like asking her and questioning her, like, oh my god, I think I'm leaking, like water's coming out, I feel like I'm peeing, but it's not pee, it doesn't smell like pee, it's just like clear liquid. And then she was like, oh, I think you're leaking. And so I was like, okay, so what should I do, what should I do? And then she's like, well, I think she called her sister to ask. She came back to me and she was like, called the nurse line and then asked them what you should do and see if you should go in to get checked. That's exactly what I did. I called the nurse line. I told them I was leaking or whatever, and then they were just like, okay, we'll just come in and then we'll call your doctor to let him know. I was just like, forget it, I'm gonna pack everything, like my hospital bag and everything like that, and just take it with me in case, you know, I do get admitted. That night, I remember it was 1 o'clock that afternoon. We packed all of our hospital bags and then we left to the hospital. But before we left to the hospital, I was like, dude, I know they're not gonna allow me to eat, so let's stop somewhere to go eat first since I'm not leaking as bad. And I brought extra pads. We went to this like Mexican place where they had like California burritos, and it was like the bomb. I forgot what the restaurant was called, but we went there to eat. I ate like half of my burrito, and during that whole time I was like leaking a lot. I had a pad on, and then I was like, you know, thinking, I was eating, I was like, should I go change before I go to the hospital or should I not? And I was like, oh, maybe I'll be fine. So at this point, I walk out the door of the restaurant and everything, like I just felt so much more water dripping and my pad was soaked. So I told him, I was like, honey, 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 I cannot walk. My legs were like crossed and walking like that. I was like, dude, I need you to go grab me a pad so that I can go and change in the bathroom. So I went and I got like the super pad, so obviously it soaked up a lot more than like the light pads, I guess you can say. I went into the bathroom and then I switched out my pad, and literally it was just coming out. Even after I switched my pad and I walked out, water was still coming. I was just like, fudge, like my pants is going to get wet. I got out of the bathroom and then I walked to the car and everything was just coming out. Like it was like a freaking waterfall. Like it would not stop leaking. And so I was just like, I'm definitely gonna get admitted because this shit is like leaking real bad. Fast forward, we got to the hospital. You know how like you have to like check in and like you have to give them like all your information before they actually take you to triage. I think that's what it's called, triage. I was like, dude, I need like a little pad thingy. I forgot what it was called too, but I was like, I need a pad where I can sit on because I'm like leaking. And so the girl was like, oh yeah, no problem, here. So she gave it to me. I sat down and I was just like crossing my legs, clenching my and like hoping that I would not leak. But It was like literally coming out. My bowl water did not break, but then I was just like leaking really bad. Oh my god, in my head I was like, can you just hurry up, or can we like redo all this information later? They didn't even give me a freaking wheelchair either, so I had to walk my ass up there to the second floor to triage to get checked. We finally get up to the second.
Mommy, I found a toilet.
Where was it?
It's under the room.
Your room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had to switch places because Leona was watching her videos in the living room. I'm just in our little office space area. Don't mind the background. So back to the story. When we got up to the second floor, I had to sit down because I was like, honey, like I'm leaking really bad. They need to hurry because I need to go. I put the pad down on like one of the benches there and I sat down, and I think you had to like wait to get called to get in because you couldn't just like walk into triage or whatever. I was sitting there. It took like about 15-20 minutes, and dude, they were taking forever, and I'm just like, oh my god, my freaking pants is like soaked. The nurse finally comes in, and then she takes me into a room and she checks my contractions. I had to like strip down and wear like the hospital gown. I laid on the bed, and then she was checking my contractions, and she was like, are you feeling your contractions? And I'm like, no, I don't feel anything. All I feel is just me leaking. On the screen, it shows my contractions, you know, and she's like, you don't feel it? I was like, no, I don't. After she talked to my doctor, she was like, you're definitely gonna need to be admitted, and baby may come early. You're only like 3 centimeters. We're just gonna give you Pitocin to kind of like help you dilate or whatever. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care. I just need to be admitted, or like I just need to be taken care of, even though I was already being taken care of. But you know, it's just that first time pressure that you don't know what you're doing, and you just feel like you just need everyone to pay attention to you. They left the room. I think they drew some blood or something like that, but then she was like, yeah, we're gonna give you an IV, get you admitted, and then, you know, we'll have you settle, we'll have a nurse for you, and get you going. So I was like, okay, great. The rooms were like really nice. I wish at that time I was vlogging, but I wasn't yet. It would have been nice to show you guys how the rooms looked. The nurse, they set me on my bed, you know, got me situated. They put Pitocin in me, and I just laid there. You know, I was just waiting for my baby to come out. I didn't feel any contractions still. I was fine. And so the nurse was like, do you want to like walk around the hospital or whatever? We have a ball that you can bounce on. I was like, okay, sure. Matt took me on a walk. We walked around the hospital, like, or around that floor three times, I think. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm ready to go back to the room and just like relax. I knocked out for like 1 or 2 hours. Matt knocked out too. And then my mother-in-law came in to drop off some chicken food for me, so after I have the baby I can eat it. That's just within like our Hmong culture. We always do that. It's called the chicken diet, and it's supposed to help heal your body quicker or whatnot. So she dropped off some food, checked up on us, and then she left. So it was just me and Matt in that room that night. I think it was like around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Matt was still asleep and I just couldn't sleep. So I woke up. I still was not feeling any contractions, and so they upped my Pitocin a little bit. I decided to bounce on the ball. I was sitting there, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this going because I'm not feeling anything, like nothing's happening. I sat on the ball and I was like bouncing on it a couple of times, and I was calling Matt's name. He didn't listen because he was like knocked out. So I was like, forget it, I'm just gonna keep bouncing. And then, this is like the highlight of my birth stories. After I bounced on that ball, water came gushing out. Everything. It was like a freaking water bottle just pouring out. That was my water that broke. Right when I bounced on it, my water broke. And that's when I felt everything. I felt the contractions, I felt the pain, I felt my stomach squeezing, contractions. I felt like I had to take a really bad shit. My stomach was extremely in pain, and I was like needing to use the bathroom. Mind you, I ate before I went to the hospital, and I haven't used the bathroom since. Oh my gosh. I was like, Matt. And I was like screaming his name. I was like, Matt. And then he woke up. I was like, I think the baby's coming. He was like, wait, what? And so I was like, oh my god. I was like, call the nurse right now. I need epidural. So I think he called the nurse, and I was like, I gotta go take a shit. I felt like I need to go take a shit. And he took me to the bathroom and I was like, stay in the bathroom with me. Like, I need you in here with me. So he was like, okay. So he walked me to the bathroom, and by that time I was like crouching. I was like crouching down to the bathroom. I asked him to stay in the bathroom with me. So he was like, do I have to? I was like, yeah, you have to. I need you. So he's like, okay, fine. So he stayed in the bathroom with me, and thank God, like the hospital bathrooms, they have like the little bar that you can hold on to. So I was like holding on to my life. Yeah, so I was holding onto that bar to like take a shit, and I don't know what kind of shit it was, but it was shit. My stomach was just hurting and hurting. I was like literally sweating my ass off. He couldn't stand the smell of my shit. So he was covering his mouth. He was like, hurry the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? I was just like, hold up, okay? You got a pregnant woman here. I was like, shut the fuck up. I need to take a shit and I have contractions, so be quiet. Dude, like my stomach hurts and like I just need to take a shit. Leave me alone, okay? Just be quiet for 1 second. Just stay by the showers and watch. So he was just like, dude, like hurry up, it stank up in here. So I got done. By then the nurse was already there with the epidural guy. My fingers were like shaking. That's how bad and that's how painful the contractions were. I sat in the bed. I did what I needed to do. He instructed me to hold on to my husband. I was like holding him like so tight. My legs, they were like shaking like really hard. Like I was like, I could not stop shaking. That's how much it hurted. I got the epidural, got that done over with. I was relieved. I was like, okay. I let go of my husband. Like honestly, you could feel like the cold fluid going down your spine. And it was kind of scary, but I mean, it's not as bad as you think it is. I was sleeping, I knocked out for 2 hours, and by that time it was like 4 o'clock. That's when I just felt so much pressure going down. Like your legs are numb and you don't feel anything, but then you feel the pressure like you need to go poop again. I had called in the nurse and I was like, hey, I feel a lot of pressure. I think she's ready to come out. So I was telling Matt, I was like, hey Matt, wake up, wake up, wake up, because she's coming. And obviously men, they just sleep on the couch and not do anything. Whew, I was kind of scared. I was like nervous. I was like, okay, this is it. Like this is freaking it. They lifted my legs and then the doctor was like, okay, on 3, you're gonna push. Girl, in my head, I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm going through this right now. I pushed 1 or 2 or 3 times and then she came out already. The first time I pushed, I didn't want to push as hard because, you know, they said that if you force your push a lot, then you're more likely to tear a lot. I didn't really force my body to push. I kind of just like pushed as if I was like pooping. The only thing I cared about was if she had a lot of hair, okay? And my daughter has a lot of hair for a toddler. So I was asking him and I was like, dude, like, does she have a lot of hair? Does she have a lot of hair? And he was like, yeah, like, she has a lot of hair. I was like, okay, that's good. I'm gonna keep pushing now. The 3rd time I pushed, she came right out. She didn't cry at all. They like did whatever they had to do, and then right when she came out, they put her on my chest right away. So that was kind of nice. I held her chest to chest. She still had like a whole bunch of like white stuff on her. It was like the most beautifulest thing ever. But just to see your baby like being handed to you, I'm gonna get emotional now. I mean, yeah, so just like knowing that that's your baby and that she's yours and only yours, it's like the most beautiful thing ever. I'm pretty sure you mamas out there cannot disagree. It is like magical. I did not cry at all, but then I was just very shocked. Like, oh my god, like, is this my baby? Like, I'm a mom now, you know? And all those feelings and emotions just kind of like, it came at me. They had her do skin and skin to me, with me for an hour, and then they took her away to bathe her. Well, they actually like bathed her right in the room so I can see them bathe her. So that was kind of nice. After they bathed her, then we kind of just like snuggled. I was only in the hospital for like 2 more days and then they released me. I was so happy to go home. being at the hospital is like the worst thing ever, but then that was like my first time actually being admitted into a hospital. When I was younger, I was never admitted to a hospital before, so I never got to experience that hospital life, which it was kind of like nice. I was excited for it until like the next 2 days, and I was just like done. I was like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to take my baby home and give her a bath and, you know, enjoy her presence while I can. Being a mom is a nice thing. It's stressful and frustrating, and sometimes it's annoying, but in the end, when you look at your kid, you're just like, wow, I freaking made you. You came out of me. And it's just amazing what a woman's body can do and what it goes through and how much pain the body can tolerate for us women, you know? Like, we're stronger than men, honestly. That concludes my birth story. It was kind of long. I'm sorry. I feel like it was kind of short. If you have any birth stories that you would like to share, I would definitely love to hear it or like read some of it. Leave me a comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time. This is my first time doing it, and I actually kind of like the story time, so I think I might start doing story times if I have any stories to tell you guys. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and click the notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on any of my videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.